Well, it's an amazing honor to be artist in residence here coming season. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful halls in the world, one of the most exciting cultural places in the world also. So it's a huge pleasure to be here, and I tried to make a varied program. So there's a nice recital together with Denise Kojukin, who I play with a lot. There's Beethoven concerto with Deutsche Kammerphilharmonie and Paavo Järvi. We recorded that piece together some years ago, so it's nice to come back to that together. And then there's a very nice chamber music program in the Brahmszaal. And in the Brahmszaal, actually, I have not been for many, many years and only actually played there one time. So that's very exciting to be back there as well. If you have 2 hours, no, I mean, the big hall of Musikverein is legendary, of course. It's when I came here for the first time, I was so amazed to see it and to experience it for real after having seen so many concerts. Of course, the New Year's concert that I also, from very young age, always watched. And of course, it's a very big hall, but it feels so intimate, which is quite extraordinary for a big hall, that you can feel this intimacy, and that's why also I think one can do chamber music there, one can do orchestral repertoire, anything is possible there. And somehow it feels like it's it's important for a violinist to have a great instrument, but one needs a great whole, actually an instrument in itself as well. And it is so perfectly tuned, like the setup of this whole is so great. So one has a warmth that I think is, it is not surpassed anywhere, and also a transparency. And wherever one is in the hall, there is this sense of intimacy, and I think that is what makes this hall so special. Well, I mean, the Brahmszaal I've only played one time, and so I mean, it's a beautiful hall. Many great pieces were premiered there, so it's also, I mean, both halls of course, but it's very historic place. So that is an inspiring fact. And then thinking of the program for this hall, there was one piece I wanted to do without question, which is the Korngold suite for 2 violins, cello, and left-hand piano, which is a masterpiece. I think it's an absolute masterpiece. It's not played enough, I think, maybe because of this strange combination of 2 violins and cello and left-hand piano. I mean, the viola is missing, but it's not, because it's a fantastic sonority in the sound. And it was written still in Vienna, actually, before Korngold left for the States. And of course, there's a Viennese aspect to it. It's very romantic, it's very expressive. It's written for Wittgenstein, who lost his right arm, injured in the World War I, and he commissioned this piece, and Ravel concerto, of course, for left-hand piano. So there are some fantastic pieces that were written for him, and I very much wanted to do that here. And of course, even with the intimacy that one has in the big hall, it's perfect to do this in the more intimate, even Brahmszaal. And we combine in that program the Brahms piano trio Opus 8 with Denise Kojukin again, and a very dear friend, colleague of mine, Boris Brovcin, who's teaching here in Vienna also. And we play lots of chamber music together. And Pablo Ferrandes, a wonderful Spanish cellist. So that's the program for Brahmszaal. Well, I have a long history playing together with the Deutsche Kammerphilharmonie and Paavo Järvi. We recorded the Beethoven Violin Concerto, well, actually quite a few years ago, and I fell in love with their Beethoven cycle. So it was a big dream for me to play Beethoven and to record it with them. So I love their energy and this great articulation and transparency that they find in Beethoven's score. And so we recorded it a number of years ago, and now coming back to it with them is actually I find it exciting and also an adventure, because, you know, life has passed, and I'm curious how we have all kind of changed in the meantime. So it's very special, and I look very much forward to coming back to that.